Okay, so I thought I'd try this again. I accidentally hit the 15-second recorder on the last video that I was trying to produce, but I really think we should have a meeting. I've been busy all day today. I went to the courthouse. There's record of me on film if anyone is questioning my arrival into the courthouse. And then I actually posted a video of it. I also went to a few stops in town to investigate a new project. It's a big project that I'm going to be working on. And I did send you an email in your email account this morning to bring a little bit of energy into the project. And the project is a really big deal, apparently. I've been kind of like thinking about, now we're just going to I'm going to creatively develop my creative here in this conversation. So I've been thinking about ways to do the thing that I was trying to do, and it kind of happens this way where you run into a teacher, or you run into a person or a video even that brings out it's inspiration, but it's not inspiration because the inspiration is there. It's just the next phase of inspiration is the actual effort and work, reminding everyone that's watching this that these people don't go anything past inspiration. So let me kind of describe this for you all who are looking for real jobs. For example, Mona Van never goes past I think. That's it. And then her expectations is for you just to do what she says. So her acts of whatever she does is nothing more than self-centeredness, of selfishness, so that she can get in the door at a party that nobody wants her to attend. Yet she lives in the world of, what's that called? It's in California. Suppressed Scientology. A suppressed individual is what she is. However, because she's from LA, well, I would say she probably moved to LA when she was like 18 or 19. There's only evidence of a certain era of her life that was showing her living in LA. Never have we seen anything of the early years of her living in New York City. I mean, it's very confusing, her history, but who cares? Except for telling you that she's a total liar. So if you believe a lie long enough, you might actually believe in the lie, and then you get really crazy and confused. It's called dementia. So she's been telling herself that she's been making in the business, and then she's been trying to convince all of you that she's successful. And then what she thinks is going to happen is all this business is going to come to her. However, she has to do something, a structure of product to actually initiate another layer. So she's only been relying on Gary, which has all been a setup. Everything Gary does with her is a setup. But see, because she's so high on her own supply, she doesn't believe it's a setup. And she only thinks that people are into gold and money because that's how she thinks. So she only believes in her money and gold and her what looks, because you're really not that attractive. You got big bug eyes and a Persian nose, and those lips are gross, and your skin is weird. But on top of all that, she knows how to play you as an audience, because that makes you angry, and then she gloats to the anger, which then heightens you into anger, which then gets views, which could technically grow a little bit in ideologies. That's called agenda. Then she can fuel other women just like her to make it a extreme corruption business where no one's succeeding except for nobody, even her, which dumbs down society and reverses out evolution to where everyone is a Neanderthal like Mona Van. Thank goodness for me and Gary Vee. Because you guys were falling for it for quite some time, weren't you? Or were you? Me and Donald Trump definitely were not. That's Vance and Donald. However, some of you were falling for it because you wanted to be like them. We have examples of that, Peg Moore and Ginger Beloved. See, the reality of business is the same on the internet as it is in a freestanding building on the streets. However, all these people do is create narratives, which is what the Democrat Party does. They taught the Democratic Party how to do it, and then you all followed suit because I think, I went to therapy for 12 years since I was 27, but how are you 40 years old this year? When you're really not that old, because you definitely surely don't occur that age. You don't have the education of someone who's 40, and you definitely don't have the maturity level of somebody who's 40. You show vegetables. I think that we can go to the grocery store and look at vegetables. It's not inspiring. Anywho, that's just a little bit of where we're headed in today's discussion in accordance to the creative aspect of existing. So what these people never get past and never start to create or do, it's the do. They only make lists, which is what Mona Van does, which is why Gary Vee says he doesn't like lists, because they write lists out for him. You're going to say her name once. You're going to take a photo here. You're going to make a video like this. We're going to do this. We're going to say this. And that includes Melissa Wood. This includes every podcast. This includes script to script to present a brand and image called personal brand. That's illegal. That's inappropriate. However, as we know with Gary Vee, he's forced to do it because his life was on the line, but so was your lives as were on the line. Moving on. Notice how they all say, I think, which means what? They're all in Zoom calls working with communism. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think, because someone who speaks like that doesn't speak in solidarity. They speak in solidarity. They don't speak solid. They speak solidly selfish. They speak about their opinion, but their opinion is LA, and nobody wants to listen to that crap. Demi Moore, you're really crazy. You do know that, right? Anyway, moving on to talk a little bit about Gary Vaynerchuk and the email I sent this morning. And I accidentally might have sent it to you twice. I didn't mean to send it twice, but I was having a frustrating moment as I was in the fabric store today. And I was trying to get my email to work. And I didn't think the email sent, so I sent it again when I realized later that it actually had sent. So don't get any, there's nothing to that except for it was an accident. And... oh, where were we at? So I watched inspiration through ideas of curiosity turn into the action of the action of the action of the action, which is the work. So all these women on platform live in the idea of something. They never put the work in, and then they just blab their mouth off, living in weird glory land of fantasy world called delusion. So if you actually were somebody who developed an idea around Eat Clean, because it's your personal brand of Eat Clean, you would actually cook the food. You would actually do stuff with the food. You don't hire other people to stage the food. It means you're not authentically delivering to an audience. You're literally just telling everybody how insecure you are. Including herself in the video that we saw with the Q&A, where she says she's even insecure about how she bends, how far she can touch her toes. I'm sorry, but I thought that you were a leader. So now it's all about her getting therapy for herself in that Q&A, while she tells everybody how Melissa Wood supports her 100% in her partnership with her, in her partnership with that community, to tell you that it's a Ponzi scheme, a cult of women supporting women to overthrow women in the audience so that they can make money and the rest of us can learn absolutely nothing. But they live in their high-rise apartments and brag to our faces about how much money they have, and that's literally all they ever say. The only thing that she says in the Q&A is, look at how rich I am with my new backdrop. I think all about me. Let me lay back. And I'm so successful. Very clear in that video that you produced with your Q&A session. And yes, Gary Vee, I apologize for posting this on your platform, but she has no cojones, which means if I were to say this to her face on her platform, she has no balls and she blocks me. That's not a real leader either. That's not a real leader, leader either. That would be Bruce Willis and the bomb of the water.